Hey, what is up, everyone? It's Rich. All right, welcome to the video. This is like impromptu, but I'm always trying to think of content that's a little unique from my YouTube channel, and I don't see a lot of comic book artists talking about this, and it's something that concerned me for a few reasons. You'll see as we get into it. I'm not there. This isn't really a visual video. You can, um, you know, just work to it, but hopefully it'll be inspiring for people and. It harkens back to I used to do a series of videos on YouTube called Journey of a Thousand Miles, and one of the main sort of cornerstones of that was I tried to be really honest about how challenging it is to be an artist and work as an artist, and you hear the jokes about it, and years ago I did a Google search and I posted it online, and it picked up some steam, but it was why are artists, and then it would recommend like why are artists broke, why are artists crazy, why are artists depressed. I mean, none of them were very flattering sort of recommendations for why are artists. And it was funny too. I posted it as a funny thing, but I on social media I've always been pretty transparent in terms of I generally try to avoid where professionals go, and I prefer to hang out with fans. Anyone that knows me and who's been around me online for the amount of time that I've been on the internet knows this. I have never created any sort of line between myself and people who follow my work. I mean, obviously, as you have more people trying to reach out to you privately, it becomes more and more difficult to sort of give everybody quality time. And especially if people take advantage of it, then you sort of have to put up some barriers on it. But generally speaking, like right now, I've seen a trend, and this isn't the point of the video, but lots of comic book artists are coming over to YouTube, and they're starting YouTube channels, and they're looking for this sort of next prong of their sort of promotional spear. But I mean, if too many comic book artists get on YouTube where I find it becomes oversaturated, I guarantee I will leave YouTube. It's not a threat. It's just the reality of my personality. I'm not someone who really likes to follow trends. And in fact, I probably gravitate away from things like that. But anyway, the point of this video is do not give up on your art. Do not give up on yourself. A couple of months ago, someone that I was friends with on Facebook committed suicide. Very, very sad. I didn't know the person personally, but it was someone who was a fan of mine and who was an aspiring comic book artist. And I don't know what happened. I don't know if they had personal things that they were dealing with, but the reality is this guy was far too young to take his life because whatever was going on in his life wasn't working out for him. And then on Instagram, I see people sort of crying out for help. I talked about this in a video a few weeks ago. I follow a lot of different stuff. Not all of this is comic book related, but I follow other creative people, musicians, people that create art for very, very different things than comic books. Painters, people. It's a lot of random stuff. I like creative people, and I like people that are very passionate about whatever it is they're into it. And again, I don't follow it by the trend. It's like I don't care if someone's popular. If someone is really like dug in and is into something, I respect that so much. And in fact, I mean, it's in some ways you almost respect it more. And look, I understand social media is a fucking bitch. It's so hard for people to build followings up online. I see people that have been on whatever Instagram for several years. They post nice art, and it's like you see a post from them that was posted 13 hours ago, and it's got 12 likes. They've got 200 or 300 followers, and they're hustling, and they're really working hard on it. And this is when I say, do not give up on yourself. Do not give up on your passion, because it doesn't like it can change so fast. You could be literally days away from something taking off for you, and you don't know. And also, I would recommend this: if you just enjoy drawing, why put the pressure on yourself to have it be your career? There's many things that I absolutely love, and I always flirt with the idea of, man, it would be so fun to do that. Like I'd love to go from comic books and then do this other thing, like be like a whatever, a YouTube gamer or a professional golfer or a gold mine, like someone who digs for gold, whatever the fuck it is that I stumble on that seems interesting. I mean, it's so random, and it's fun, and it keeps me excited about life. It keeps me excited. I always say this is, so most people know that I was a professional musician before I got into comic books, and that's literally all I did. From the time I was 11 years old until I was probably 23, I just only did music. I started playing in bands when I was very young, and by the time I was 19 or 20, I was touring the United States, signed to a record label. We were opening for bands like Tool, Stone Temple Pilots. I always run down this stupid list. It's like I've met Kurt Cobain, Lane Staley from Alice in Chains. I mean, it's like I was really doing music. Is not really a living at that point, but it was the only job that I had. And then I got into comics, and it switched. And even when I was still in my band, was when I started collecting comics. I've made references to like, when my band was on tour, I would buy comic books from the spinner rack. But look, the the reality is doing art for a living is really, really fucking hard, and every job will end. And there's a lot of success that you'll see out there right now with people doing crowdfunded books, and that's great. And it's like, you'll see the same with people. It's like some guy gets discovered, and then he's working on Batman, or he's doing the X-Men, and it's like sometimes it won't seem fair, but you can't really let other people's success or failures really affect you. I would do it like this: just take it in as information, and then you're going to have to kind of carve out your own path. The other thing I would recommend is do not give a fuck what people say. It's like, YouTube, Twitter, whatever it is, people like to talk shit. If they've got no skin in the game, then fuck them. You do not need to give a fucking shit about what people think about you. Treat people respectfully, do your shit, and fucking put it out there. It's like some jackass who wants to troll a video. Like, who cares? Fuck them. If they need to spend their time attacking you and trying to bring you down, imagine what their life is like. So don't even worry about it. And I would also recommend, don't let the compliments go to your head either. You want to keep a balanced playing field with it. Someone complimenting your work or saying that they're a big fan of yours is very nice, but it's like you just want to keep it at like a, a level amount of engagement with it either way. Where I would listen to criticism is if you see repeatedly people saying like, oh, you should try this more, you should do this more. Not like not you getting like jumped in online where a bunch of people attack you for one specific thing. But my point is like, if people go, I can't really tell what this is in your drawing, or I can't relate to this, or whatever, you can start to maybe like keep an eye on it. I had someone on Patreon recently say one of my videos, or I think it was just one. He said it was boring. Instead of being like a bitch about it and getting all worked up, he had commented on some other videos. So I replied to his comments, and I just asked him directly. I said, what did you think was boring about that video? And he wrote me a reply and told me what he thought was boring about it, and was very complimentary on top of it. So sometimes when you engage these people that sort of quote unquote seem like they're trolling you or attacking you, it could be a language barrier, it could be many things, but yeah. So when I was on Instagram recently, I saw another person who kind of was making references to like suicide and ending their life, and it's all going to be over. I've seen a few people do this, and it's like, obviously as someone who cares about people, that concerns me. I don't want to see anyone hurting, but I'm also like, I'm a just one person. I don't know them personally. It's difficult to save everyone or like engage all of that. But my point is, don't think that because things aren't happening right now for your art, that they won't ever. The reality with doing art is, just look at it as a long game. Like, I don't foresee myself ever not doing art, not creating stuff, and not being excited about art and things that revolve around art to me, which is music, it's video games, it's concept art, it's movies, it's animation. That's the stuff I really love. Art for bands, and that kind of level of creativity where people are creating things, I mean, honestly, I tend to be more interested in sort of original ideas from people than would be like someone who always draws like this company's characters or that company's characters is probably a little less interesting for me personally, but I'm just one person on that. But if I hit the lottery tomorrow, I would still literally be doing the same exact thing. I wouldn't get on books with deadlines, meaning like where I would be working for a living. But at the same time, I mean, I don't really have anything else that I would prefer to do, and so maybe look at what you're doing in terms of that too. Is that you can actually just create like a long game for yourself where it's like, all right, I'm working a job that I really don't like right now, or I'm out of work right now, which a lot of people are, and I'm gonna bide my time and I'm gonna draw just to enjoy it. And I recommend this to people too, is look, like, don't live or die by social media, by Instagram and all that stuff. I got off all that shit and I don't miss it at all. The only place that I'm regularly active is really Patreon and YouTube. And like I said, I mean, if YouTube gets overly lame to me, then I'll just bail YouTube too and go somewhere else. I have no problem with that. I'm not trying to build a following based on some sort of fictional number thing. Like I'm not a better artist because I have 60,000 followers on Instagram or 5,000. So don't gauge yourself by that, and definitely don't stake your happiness and enjoyment of doing art on that. It's just pointless. So hopefully that helps inspire people. And look, everybody gets down in the dumps and depressed, and uh you know I've had lots and lots of challenges along the way, bad stuff. And it's just, maybe that's why I'm more empathetic to people that are hurting. But look, at some point you just have to step up and take responsibility for yourself. You can carry that with you, but at the same time, it's like you can't let that bury you. So anyway, but yeah, I've seen more and more people, and again, not just comic book people, but people in general that I follow on social media, sort of giving these sort of cries for help. And it's hard to watch, but I think, get off social media. Go enjoy what you enjoy in your life, and don't worry about it, because there's people that are bored, that are just trying to tear stuff down. It was funny, as I saw there was Last of Us 2 is about to come out, and I wanted to see if anyone had started any walkthroughs on it, and there's none up yet. The game drops, I think, the 19th. But I guess there's a bunch of controversy about the game. I can sort of speculate on what it is based on the trailers that I've seen. But it's the same thing. So anyway, but I saw a channel, and his video was sort of like this is gonna piss off the haters, and I was like, oh, all right. So it's like comic book drama, but in video games, and it goes back and forth. It's like movie drama. The fans hate a certain actor, or the movie wasn't how they wanted. But it was interesting how the guy was presenting the video, and he was kind of over people that it's like, if you don't like a game, then just fucking don't buy it. Like why do you have to try to destroy people's fun that enjoy it? If that I mean, if that's your motivation, then it's like, again, you kind of have to question sort of like what's going on for that person. So it's like, people will go like, oh, you should see so and so did this in comics, and they did this, or they made this amount of money, and it's like, that's great. It's their life. I don't live my life for their life. So don't compare, like I kind of joke and call it like don't count other people's money, but it's like I worked around people that were making millions of dollars at Wildstorm, and I was just there working sort of as a regular job. I mean, I was getting paid for it, but it was like I wasn't making the money that J. Scott Campbell made, and we shared an office for years, and there was literally never a point that I was sitting there in the office going, God, Jeff makes so much more money than I do. Who, like, it's his business, you know? He still makes way more money than I do, and it still doesn't bother me. So, focus on what you've got to do, and that will make you achieve the things that you want to do. But if you're going to focus on what other people are doing, and you're just going to burn up so much mental energy on it. So anyway, I hope that that's encouraging and sort of puts a little bit of a reality blanket on things. And look, as I always say, every job ends, every trend ends, everything comes to an end at some point. And with art in particular, there's just a point where it's done. The collaboration that you had with that one writer, they're over it. You're over it. You just want to break away and do something new. And then you have to start over. And what if the fans don't like what you do next? What if your fan base doesn't follow it? I've had it happen a million times, especially as an inker, you experience it. And I'm sure this is the same with colors, but it's like, but I've talked to pencilers that the same thing. It's like if you're working on whatever, a super popular character, and then you go to do a new book, or you go to do a create your own book. Sometimes it'll be more successful, sometimes it'll be less successful, and you try to ride those waves as long as you can. But just everything sort of has a natural sort of lifespan, and you better be prepared to dig in when you need to reboot. And some people kind of escape it. You could see where, like someone like I'll just use Todd McFarlane as an example. Todd McFarlane's been really successful for many years now, and there's really no misstep that he can make other than saying something just catastrophically, politically off color or something might cause damage, but there's nothing really artistically speaking that he could do that would buck that many fans off of his gravy train. So there's a point where I've talked about this before. It's like when you have a big enough fan base, they'll applaud just about anything you do, and I notice it on Instagram where I'm like, man. Going back to the people that I follow that have 200 followers and can barely get 11 likes, they'll post stuff that's better than a professional's work, who will get 12,000 likes for some little doodle they post, but it's like their fan base just wants to see their work. So it's like that's not a level playing field, and it's really nothing that you can compare. It's incomparable. So that's why you just need to avoid the comparisons. And if it bothers you enough, just split and go do something else. And I don't mean do something else like don't do art, but maybe get off of that social media platform, like go back to DeviantArt, try Tumblr, try making short videos on TikTok, whatever it is. There's lots of different things that you can do. Go to ArtStation, maybe you'll find a community there. Just be ready to pack it up and move along. I would say that it's a bit of a transient lifestyle in terms of career path, and that's fine. You just have to be aware of it, and remember, it's a long game. If you're 35 years old, you want to be doing art when you're 70 years old, unless you don't. But you know what I mean. Like if you're 40 and you still haven't broke in, it's not a big deal. Just know that maybe 3 years from now you will be doing your own create your own book. And I recommend this to people. You could be drawing a comic book right now. You could literally sit down this afternoon and go, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to start making up characters. And this is why I honestly, a lot of my videos, I'm trying to encourage people to do that, whether you can tell that or not. It's like I dumb things down to the most simplest basic things, like create a stupid list of 2 sets of names and pick a name. You're rolling. You've got a thing. It's like I'm trying to encourage people. Hopefully you see that and you understand that I don't like live my life the way that my YouTube channel projects it. In fact, when I'm done doing my YouTube videos, my entertainment and the things that I engage in are very, very different. I'm not looking at old Image comic books for the rest of the day. I just don't do it. But I'm trying to give people many options, many art styles to hopefully engage them in something that they can connect with, and then you're off and running. I'm trying to give you the tools to be self-sufficient, which I've always tried to do in my journey with 1,000 Miles. So that's my speech. Do not ever give up. Don't give up on your art. Don't give up on your life. If you're feeling depressed and you think that everything is fucked up and beyond repair, you need to change your state of mind. You need to get out. You need to I like to go for walks, and if I find myself getting overly stressed out or my mind is racing about things that are pissing me off, I look for fun things. Like right now it's video games. I'm having a blast watching people talk about video games. A year ago it was toy reviews. I don't even collect toys, but I would watch these people that would do tours of their toy rooms. There's a guy that collects statues. I think he's called the Viet Collector. I love his channel. I don't follow any of the he collects all these sort of like manga inspired like sideshow but custom statues. I love watching his channel. He's so passionate about these statues, and the art is great on the statues. Find your happy place. Maybe it's Tony Hawk Pro Skater, whatever it is, and just avoid the negative shit that's out there. And there's a lot of it these days. Not everybody, a lot of people are divided. It's annoying as fuck, but it is what it is. So, all right, take it easy. I love you all. I wouldn't have made this video if I didn't care about you. I wouldn't even be on YouTube if I didn't care about you. I didn't come to YouTube to promote. I came to meet people, all right? It's the truth. And like I said, if YouTube gets lame and it gets oversaturated by stuff that I don't like, I'm out. I'm telling you, I've done it before. I'll do it again. All right, have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye.